In today's video, I'll be talking about the changes made to the Eye of Gemini that they recently had with the new update, game update 135. There was a couple of changes made to that artifact, and as a result of this, a lot of players been messaging me and asking me whether or not to keep the Eye of Gemini artifact or whether they should get rid of it, dump it into a next artifact since it's double artifact XP. So I just want to make it clear, guys, that it's your choice. I'm not going to make the choice for you guys whether or not you should get rid of it. What the community was doing in the past, it was very beneficial for everyone, but there was a couple of changes made, and I'm not going to make the choice for you guys to get rid of it or not. You could still use it depending on your builds and your power, and I'll talk about that in a few. So yeah, guys, so I'm going to talk about the changes that were made, and I will suggest some stuff that you could do to use that artifact. So let's get into it. So here we have the Eye of Gemini artifact. On the left side we have it before game update 135, and we have a picture on the right side showing it after game update 135. So the main thing we're going to be concerned about here is the caster's watch for tank or healer role, the supercharge aspect of it, and the polished gaze. We're going to be talking about the damage for the DPSs here. So let me get right into it here and talk about the regen here. So it restores 2% supercharge every second, and it lasts, as you can see in the top here, 6 seconds. So 2% by 6, that's 12% supercharge you're going to be getting back every 6 seconds. 2, 6, 12, right? So it doesn't matter the cost. It could be a 2.5k supercharge, a 5k supercharge, or a 10k supercharge. You get back a flat 2% regen for every second, basically. That's why we had the EOG spam going on, all those healers running dash attack, pheromone bloom, and so on, metabolic boost, and so on, all those 2.5k supercharge costs, because it has a very short cooldown time, and you could also spam it because it doesn't really cost a lot of supercharge. And we had that meta going on, or I should say, a lot of groups using the EOG spam for the DPSs to do a lot of damage. That's what it was before. The DC community was doing that. So that now was nerfed, basically, and I gotta really explain this in a little more detail, so let me go to the right side and talk about it here. So Caster's Watch for tank or healer role, it restores 2%. Actually, no, that's for the health, and that's for the healing. Let me talk about the supercharge here. Okay. It restores 0.5%, 1%, and 3% supercharge for every second for supercharge abilities costing 2.5k, 5k, and 10k respectively. If you don't understand this, let me explain it further for you guys here. So it would be 0.5% for 2.5k supercharge used. So if you use Pheromone Bloom, for example, you only get 0.5% supercharge regen. 1% for 5k. So for example, what supercharge is 5k that they could use? Electric circuit breaker, that's an example there, 5k. So use electric circuit breaker, you're gonna get 1% supercharge regen for every second. And if you use a 10k supercharge, you're gonna get 3% supercharge for every second. So the 10k is actually a really big buff, because you get 1% buff there for every second. So basically, say it was before, 2% for any supercharge. So 2% by 6, that's 12. Now it's 3% by 6. 6 3 is 18. So it's 18% you gain back for the 10k, which is a huge supercharge. That's 100% supercharge. Yeah, but you could take advantage of this, and I'll show you. I'll explain how you guys could take advantage of this. But you have to have set groups for this. That's a major buff for the supercharge, the 3% for the 10Ks. Before 10Ks didn't have that buff. They only get a flat 2%, regen back. With the 10Ks, you could actually do some nice stuff with this. And me and my league been doing some stuff, and I will have a couple of videos for you guys later in the future showing this. So that's it there for the Caster's Watch. I just want to explain a couple of things too that's not here, that they don't have here. For the green circles, if you're running 2 healers, right? And say the 2 healers are running the 10K supercharge. One healer they have to communicate. One healer hit their supercharge first to get that regen. And then the next healer gotta wait until the green circle disappears, then hit their own. Also, I want to make this clear to you guys. It's not standing in a green circle. It's standing close to the person who cast the supercharge. So you gotta stand close to the healer. Just close enough just to get the supercharge regen. You don't necessarily have to stand in a circle. It doesn't work like that. Same how it was in the past, so it doesn't work like that. You have to stand next to the caster. The reason why they did a lot of EOG, had more than one healers doing it, is that the healers could be spread out and cover the whole group, doing AG spam, and everybody could get super. You don't have to like run across the room to the next healer and get that EOG regen. The healer's right next to you giving it. Some groups would bundle up and do it, but in certain ways you can do it like that, so that's how it was. And you could have stacked the green circles also, right? It doesn't say it here, but you could have stacked the green circles. Well, not really stack the green circles. You could have like 2 circles overriding each other and they never cancel out. Now, it's different. You need to cycle. You need to communicate, The DC community, before, you don't really need to communicate. You could have just, any healer could have just been different charts, and you could have just hit the supercharge, and regen for the group. But now you have to have it communicate. It's a little different. You got to be very careful with this. Certain group sets could actually benefit from this. If you have your league members doing certain stuff, you could actually benefit from using the 10K supercharges. But you have to have communication. This supercharge spam is not going to be a big thing in DC anymore. That's dead, But you still can utilize it if you're running certain artifacts, allies, and stuff. And I'll have some builds for you guys, But let me continue on here and talk about Pollux Gaze. So Pollux Gaze, damage rule. Expires. Okay. When Pollux Gaze expires, you deal 20% of all damage dealt by players standing with Pollux Gaze to all nearby enemies. So that's all I'm going to be talking about. Standing on Pollux Gaze grants 5%. Yeah, okay. So before in the past, a couple of things you could do with Pollux Gaze. DPS could have stacked the orange circles. You could have like 4 or 5 DPS, 6 DPS. Each of them hitting the supercharge at the same time. Doesn't matter. Any supercharge. Remember, as I said before, you get back 2% for every. Sorry. No. That's the Castle wasn't talking about. Yeah. So you get back 20% damage. All the damage dealt. 20% of all the damage dealt. So basically, you're stacking all that damage. Pets also counted towards the damage. Allies counted towards the damage. It's not like that anymore. You can't stack your circles anymore. That's dead. That what everybody should be doing with that EOG, that's dead. You can't do it anymore. They fixed that. Now this is what happens, although they don't say it here. But if you, after the game update, if you use EOG, right, as a DPS, use it first, right, and you proc your supercharge, you're gonna get the benefits of your supercharge. And even if someone stands on it, you're gonna get, the damage or whatever. But pests do not count towards damage. Allies do not count. People standing in and popping an X orange circle on yours, that can't happen. It doesn't proc. The artifact doesn't proc the Pollux Gaze. So therefore, you have to be very careful how you're using this artifact. You have to have communication, basically. If you're running with randoms and you don't have communication, you can mess up here. So now, as I said before, it dealt, when Police Gate expires, you deal 20% of all damage dealt by players standing within the Police Gate. That was before, right? And that could have stuck and you do a lot of damage. But now you can't do it, and also they kind of nerf certain aspects with the supercharges, and there was a buff for the 10k supercharges. So let me read that here. So when Police Gate expires, you damage all nearby enemies for 8%, 16%, 30% for all damage dealt by players standing within Police Gates for supercharge abilities costing 2.5k, 5k, and 10k respectively. Basically, for 8%, if you use a 2.5k supercharge, you get 8% of that damage dealt. If you use a 50k, you're gonna get 16%. And if you use a 10k, you're gonna get 30%. That's a 10% boost. So that's really, really good. Not all powers have good 10k supercharges, but certain powers could benefit using these 10k supercharges. I'm gonna give you a couple examples. Quantum with Oblivion, you'll be doing 30% of all damage dealt instead of 20%. So they're gonna get a lot of damage from their Oblivion. Munitions Big Gun, that's the next example of a 10k there. Sorcery Grand Summoning, that's the next example. They got water, also got a 10k, I forget the name of it. Call of the Deep. Water's Call of the Deep. So certain powers, I'll give some examples here. Certain powers will benefit greatly from the 10k supercharge course, and they'll do a lot of damage. The EOG artifact, it's not going to be used as the main artifact now. It's a swapping artifact. If you're not into the swapping thing, it might be an artifact for you, but I'm not telling you to get rid of it. It's up to you. You could still use it for the healing side if you're planning to do certain builds that I'll have in the end of this video here. You'll check the end of the video if you want to see an example of a build that we did with a quantum DPS that I did. Basically, me and my league mates did with a quantum DPS, electric healer, and a sorcery healer. But you have to have certain stuff to do what we're doing, like certain artifacts. So cloak one, EUG, the main one, and you could run the page, and you have to have certain allies too. For example, that Black Adam ally, it will give back supercharge if you're using a supercharge generator and you're doing EUG spam and stuff. There's a couple of videos I'll be doing in the future. If you guys want to see this, you guys interested, make sure and subscribe to the channel if you guys interested and you want to see that. So you can spam supercharge. Well, not really spam it. You can regenerate a lot of supercharge for DPSs as a healer, but you got to do certain stuff for it. You have to have set groups for that. You have to have people committed, to do certain stuff for it. Have to have, certain allies and stuff, just to do it. It's not like before, how the community was before. Everybody could just, use the low supercharge course and you get that regen. You have to have set groups for that. So yeah, guys, with that being said, you guys can check out this video here and this end screen video here, guys. And if you guys interested, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care.